An arrest creating a lot of friction between the U.S. and an important ally.
India demanding the U.S. drop a case against a female diplomat living and working in New York City. Busted on visa charges, but the U.S. attorney is digging in. This is tensions between the two countries are on the rise. India removing the security barriers outside the U.S. Embassy in New Delhi. Protesters there taking to the streets. Arthur Aidala off the streets here in New York to talk with us, our Fox News legal analyst. Was it handled appropriately or not, Artie?
Look, this is a big deal for Preet Bharara. He's the U.S. attorney. He holds the same position that Rudy Giuliani held before he was the mayor. The current head of the FBI held his position. Everybody knows that this U.S. attorney, Bill, has much bigger goals for himself. And for this to be the case, this is the first blemish on the first issue on his record. He is probably the most prominent Indian-American attorney. And so that the fact that this involves his country, it's a big deal in the world that I live in, the legal community that I live in. With that being said, basically the woman who worked for the diplomat says, the nanny basically says, I was held like a slave almost.
$3 an hour.
Right. Now, here's the problem, Bill, that's going on right now. There's a lot of extortion going on. Allison, all it takes is her word versus the diplomat's word.
Right.
It's that simple.
But doesn't the diplomat win? When it's somebody's word against the diplomat's word, why is the diplomat being strip searched? Why is the diplomat being thrown into the general prison population? Isn't there something weird about this case? Yes,
I will tell you this. Even though everyone's supposed to be treated equal, they're not. I mean, that's, God forbid, Allison, if you or Bill were arrested, they use their common sense. They're not going to put somebody who looks like who's never been in trouble in the general population with people who, unfortunately, who have a rap sheet that's a half an inch thick.
Well, you know the laws of New York. It appears the whole strip search thing is the rub on this. Is that general procedure? Does that happen upon arrest in New York City?
Well, this is the federal court. So this supposedly, Bill, is supposed to apply to the whole nation, not just New York. This is federal court. And the answer to that question is yes. It's supposed to happen every time. I can't tell you whether it happens every time.
If you didn't pay your nanny enough.
Correct.
I don't understand.
Well, I'm going to tell you why. The procedures are to make sure that that particular woman isn't hiding some sort of a weapon, isn't posing a threat to herself, to making sure she doesn't have something where she's going to slit her wrist, or to any of the officers, any of the marshals who work in the courthouse, or anyone who works in the courthouse.
So you don't think they went above and beyond in a weird way with this?
I 100% think they did.
You do?
But in terms of the cavity search, Bill, do I think this is a woman who needed to be subjected to a cavity search? I know that's what the letter of the law says. I also know there are many times in everyone's workforce where they don't adhere to the letter of the law. The letter of the law is you can't rip that tag off the pillow that you have in your house, right? Don't rip the mattress, whatever it is.
Be specific on this. The prosecutor came out with a statement a few moments ago. A lot of questions have come from the media, and they're defending, so far, the actions that were taken.
Because I believe...
Would you expect their posture to change?
No.
Or just stay the way it is?
I would expect it to stay the way it is because they probably followed every procedure in the book to the letter of the law. But we're human beings. We're supposed to use our judgment. We're not computers that says, well, it says we have to do this and this and this. They could look and make a judgment based on their experience as United States Marshals and saying, look, do we really need to take this woman? This is a very political, like a hot potato. Is this the person we should be doing cavity searches of? Now, the U.S. Attorney says she was afforded accommodations other people weren't. She was afforded a telephone. She was allowed to make 2 hours worth of calls to child care in place. So there's a balancing act here. But this is a real hot potato for this U.S. Attorney. But he's very adept at handling it. He used to be Chuck Schumer's, I believe, chief of staff or chief counsel, so he knows how to handle politics very well. He learned at the hands of the master of politics.
Arthur, great to see you.
Merry Christmas. I don't see you. Bon Nadal, as we say in Brooklyn, New York.
Nice.
Bill, we'll translate that to you later.
Just in Brooklyn.
That's okay. Yeah, only in Brooklyn. But Allison comes.
I do. Thanks so much,
Thank you.